Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Mad Mondays. My name is Marilyn Chanel, and I am your hostess of Mad Mondays. And I'm also the founder of Minorities Who Are Astonishingly Driven Scientists, which is a nonprofit where we provide resources and help for underrepresented minority students in STEM. And we also provide resources like this podcast where we talk about the struggles of being a student in STEM. And we also provide help or just some type of encouragement along the way. We do so much more, but in this podcast, we really do want to talk about the struggles and also help you get through your journey of being a student in STEM. And we also don't want to just be for students, but with me being a student, I feel like I can relate to a whole lot of students right now, but this is also for people who have a career in STEM right now, who are going through being just a professional, and maybe they can relate as well. And so one thing I really want to talk about is my struggle right now. I think it's best to just share the things that I'm going through just to relate to you guys. I often wonder, dang, should I share the things that I'm going through right now, or should I wait until after I actually out of the season? But you never know who it could help. So I just want to talk about today feeling like giving up. I feel like my feeling of giving up comes in waves. I'll have moments where I'm like, yes, this is exactly what I want to do. I'm exactly in the place where I really want to be. And then I have other moments where I am saying, I don't think I want to do this anymore. Is this really what I'm supposed to be doing? Maybe I can do something else. What else am I good at? Maybe I can drop out of school. Maybe I can move out. Maybe I can move away. And I start thinking of a whole laundry list of other things that I can do. This is not something that I only struggle with, but I know a lot of people I sit next to in class. Well, I have sat next to in class, or people that I've encountered in the library, people that I've encountered all over, whether that be on campus or off campus that I've talked to. And it's just been feeling like, dang, I think I want to give up on this. And this isn't just for college students. Sometimes it could be for people who are already in their profession. They've been working in it for 15 years and they think, dang, I feel like giving up. It can be in anything. And I want to talk about that and talk about how I am getting through it and how I am working to get through this thing. And one thing I want to point out is that I always feel like this during the time, like the most stressful times in the season, and that is around the middle of the semester when the content is starting to kick in. You have 50 different assignments due all on the same day. All of your teachers, it seems like they got together and said, yeah, let's schedule an assignment, a presentation. Oh, let's have this other one write a book report. Let's have this other one do a group. Let's have a group assignment all due on the exact same day. And you're like, bruh, really? Y'all really are conspiring against us right now. And it's all, yes, like I said, it's always during the middle of the semester, towards the middle and the end of the semester where this starts to kick in. And I want you to also take note of when you feel like giving up. Because for me, I always feel bright-eyed and I'm always like gung-ho, let's go, let's get to this towards the beginning of the semester. And I love listening to other podcasts as well and other people on YouTube. And one thing I always hear is how you do one thing is how you do everything. And I realized that I start everything, every single thing I do in my life. When I was doing a little, I guess, just some self-reflecting of who I am, I realized that I'm always a beautiful starter. I'm always the person that's like, yes. I'm like, I want to do this. I'm going to do it with this much passion. I'm going to do it this many times a day. I'm going to do it this many times a week for this many hours. And I am pushed and I'm pumped. But then somehow, as time goes by and I get through the middle, I'm like, I don't know if I can do this anymore. And that's not even with just school and in the middle of the semester, but it's with my workout routine. I literally said, yes, I'm going to do this. I'm going to start working out at least 3 times a week. And last week I didn't even go by the gym. This is so bad. I didn't even go by the gym. Things in my life, it seems to get so hectic. I could start a book, completely love it, and then towards the middle of the book, I end up forgetting that I even read it. And it's just so many things. And I even realize it's that way with the way I even eat my food. I start my plate and never finish my plate. And I've been like, wow, it's just crazy how this habit that I have really overflows into every area of my life. So it's not just feeling pumped about getting through a semester and wanting to make all A's in my classes, but it's also with the way I eat my food, working out, the way I finish books, even having a sleep routine. I'm like, I'm going to have a great routine for this whole month. I'm going to go to sleep at a decent time. I may be good with it for maybe a few days, couple of days. And then after that, I completely forget or completely just ditch my whole routine that I was supposed to stay on. And it's around those times where I get to the middle or that rough patch that I start feeling like giving up. And I want to encourage you guys today that if you are one of those people that are feeling like you are in the middle of giving up, I want you to take some deep self-reflecting and start noticing, is this something that I do all the time? And you may not be like me. You may notice a completely different habit that you have. But if you are someone that you feel like giving up, notice or take note of when are the times where you feel like giving up the most. Is it when things pick up and get harder that you feel like giving up? Because for me, I had to be brutally honest with myself and say, yeah, it's when things pick up and start getting harder that I feel like giving up, that I just continue to, honestly, I won't say I continue, I start scaling back on the thing that I said I would do or the goal that I set. And that was kind of hard to admit, being honest. That was kind of hard to admit, but I had to. In order to grow, in order to get better. You got to start admitting the things that you need to do better in, right? And in the moments of feeling like giving up, I also want you to take note of how you speak. I had a moment like this 3 days ago. 3 days ago. It was towards the end of last week. And honestly, it's been for a couple, honestly, more than a couple of weeks. When I finally had the chance to self-reflect, I realized that the way that I've been speaking to myself has not been the best either. It's been, you just need to get it together. Oh my gosh, I keep procrastinating. Why can't I ever get it together? I'm going to fail. Oh my gosh, I'm going to fail. Or, why am I so dumb? Why would I even say that answer? That was so stupid. And you start speaking negatively to yourself, which makes the feeling of being a failure even worse. And honestly, it even feeds your feeling of being a failure. Step 1 is notice when are the times where you feel most like a failure. And 2 is take note of the things that you say to yourself. And today I was listening to online church or an online sermon, and my pastor was talking about watch your mouth. And I said, dang, Watch your mouth. Yeah, because a lot of times we don't really take note of how we speak to ourselves, and we have thousands and thousands of thoughts a day, and these thoughts really make up our world, and they really make up the person that we perceive ourselves to be. And then from who we perceive ourselves to be, we start to act like, and then we start to produce fruit or become the very thing that we said we were. And so if I continue to say, oh my gosh, I can't stop procrastinating, I'm a failure, I'm so stupid, I can never get any assignment done on time, I'm always late, I'm always waking up late, I can't get a routine schedule, I'm just all over the place, and the list goes on. Whatever your negative talk may be, you know exactly what you say to yourself all the time. And I want you to take note of what are the things that you say. What are the things that you say? Like, take a moment and think about it. And when you realize the things that you say, you're like, and ask yourself, would I say this to a 2-year-old? And we don't even treat ourselves as kind as we would treat the child, a child, or the child in us. We would never speak to a child that way. So why are you speaking to yourself that way? And as I said a few seconds ago, we say these things and they feed into our feeling of being a failure. And so I encourage you, and I honestly, when I get on these podcasts, I feel like I'm talking to myself, and which I really am. They kind of feel like therapy sessions to me, and I'm also outing myself and letting you in on an inner conversation that I need to have, of improvements that I need to make in order to be more successful, in order to start changing the course of my life, to see some turnaround. And one thing that I had to encourage myself was what is said in Proverbs 21. And I know a lot of you may know this scripture. Even if you aren't churchy, even if you don't read the Bible, I'm pretty sure that you have heard this saying one time or another, or even more. And that is, death and life are in the power of the tongue, and those who love it will eat its fruits. So just dwell on that. And when you realize that every single thing you speak really takes form in your life, and you don't have to be overly spiritual to know that, because you see it. And I want you to take account and start thinking about, when are the time, like, what are the things that I say, and what atmosphere does that create? I want to challenge you, everybody, this week, and that's to start speaking to yourself as if you're a 2-year-old. You're really caring for a child. You want them to grow up to be the best human being possible. So how would you speak to them? And then start speaking to yourself that way. And for me, someone who sometimes feel like giving up, I realized that I feel like giving up the most when all of the negative chatter is going on. And that is what I honestly challenge myself to do that. And that is to start speaking better. When the scripture says death and life are in the power of the tongue, and those who love it will eat its fruits, we really start seeing exactly what we say. And when I said I'm such a procrastinator, I end up procrastinating even more. Or when I say I can never get anything right, I end up never being able to get anything right. When I say I'm stupid, I end up condemning myself for at least trying to make an answer. But the negative chatter still goes in my head, and I still end up feeling as if I'm not smart enough, or as smart as my classmates. And it ends up making me want to give up, because I have told myself all of these horrible things. And if you know that death and life lies in the power of your tongue, it's now time to start speaking better. It's time to start telling yourself exactly who you are and affirming who you are, because and honestly, you don't have to lie to yourself. If you know you are someone like me, if I know I am someone who procrastinates sometimes, say yes, you are you do procrastinate. But you are someone who is going to work to start doing things at an earlier time. You will no longer wait to get things done. You will get them done in a timely manner. You will make sure that you set your schedule. You will make sure that you put it in your calendar. You will make sure that you set it 3 days ahead of time. You will make sure that and it's just starting to speak to yourself and psyching yourself up to really let you know that this has to be done. And from there, you will start seeing the evidence of what you speak, because no longer are you speaking negatively about yourself, but you're starting to speak life into you and saying, you're not stupid. I'm proud of you for taking the initiative to answer the question when nobody in the class even wanted. Everybody was silent. Nobody even wanted to answer the question, but I'm proud of you for even taking the initiative to answer the question. And you're not stupid. You're not stupid. You're not stupid. You made it this far in life. You're smart. You're intelligent. You're here for a reason. And I honestly love coming on here because I think that I honestly sometimes have a script of everything I want to say, but sometimes I just feel like having a script can make things too scripted and then it starts coming off too scripted. But today I just want to speak out and be real and raw about what I experience sometimes. And I know a lot of other people may be experiencing the same thing, you know? And this is exactly how how I speak to myself. Maybe it could open your eyes to knowing, or to being able to figure out how you should speak to yourself when you feel like giving up or when you feel like a failure. And I want to say that, step 1, identify the moments where you feel most like a failure. 2, how do you speak to yourself? When and how? When are the times where you feel most like a failure? And 2, how do you speak to yourself? And realize that death and life lie in the power of your tongue. And I want to end with this. I understand that it gets hard at times, and just with anything, it's going to be hard. Anything worth having sometimes, it's going to take some work. You're going to have to jump, seems like millions, a gazillion of hurdles in order to finally reach the finish line and grasp your prize. And it's in those hurdles and it's in those obstacles that we really, really, really learn who we are. And it's going through moments like this where I feel like giving up and I feel like not trying anymore, and I feel like I am a failure, and I feel like I just don't have it all together. And I look to the person next to me and they seem to be going faster than I am. And I look to another person next to me and they've achieved so many more things. And I'm like, I feel like I don't feel like that. But I want to encourage you that you're still useful. Your talent, your voice, your work, your presence, whatever you are doing, whatever field you're in, it's still useful and it is still needed. And that's why I say you can't give up. You can't give up, and you can't throw in the towel now. You can't throw in the towel, I'm telling you. And I want to end with this. Make sure you watch what you say, because it really does create the life that you are living. It really does create the life that you are living, and you will really experience the fruit of the things that you have said, of what you've said. So make sure you watch that. Make sure you watch that. And today, I want to leave you with this. We are graced to dominate STEM. Yes, we are. So we can't have you dropping out. We can't have you, that person that you are meant to impact won't be impacted if you drop out. That great thing that you are meant to invent will not be created if you give up. So don't. The people, the things, the places, whatever it is that you are meant to do or meant to see or meant to be around will not come if you give up. And so I want to say, continue to watch how you speak to yourself and continue to make sure you watch how you speak to yourself, because death and life lie in the power of your tongue, and you want to create what you want to see. And I know what you want to see is beauty, so make sure you create that. I know you want to see success, so make sure you speak that. I know you want to see life, so make sure you speak that. And the first thing is identify the times where you feel the most like giving up. And then start tweaking it. And then start figuring out what are some things that I can do around this time to prevent me from feeling as if I need to give up, or I need to give a break, or I need to have a break. So for me, if I always feel as if I want to give up during the middle of things, what are some things that I need to start implementing towards the middle? If I always feel like giving up around the middle of my workout, what do I need to start speaking to myself? Do I need to implement a new type of music? Do I need to get connected with a partner? And that's another thing. Get around other people who push you and who make you grow. Get around other people who make your success normal, who make where you want to be seem real. If I know that I want to have a certain workout routine, I need to start getting around people in the gym and start saying, hey, can we start working out together? If you see people in your class who you want to start studying like and succeeding like in class, or you see people wherever you are, start getting around people who are going to push you to grow and who are going to push you to start speaking better and honestly talking better to yourself, because you see that they speak better to themselves and you see what they've created. And that's the other thing. So yeah, we need you. So you can't give up. We need you. You're not a failure. We need you. So you can't give up. And I want to leave you with what I leave you with all the time. And that is, we are graced to dominate STEM. This has been another episode of Mad Mondays with Marilyn Chanel. Tell me on our Instagram at Mad Scientist SC, what are some things that you had to change, or when are the times where you felt the most like giving up, and what are some things that you've done to change that, and how have you had to change the way that you speak to yourself in order to see better in your life? So I hope you have a great week, and I will see you all next week on another episode of Mad Mondays. Love you.